Pankaj says, I have to walk for 5 minutes to reach school. Sanya says, I just walk for 2 minutes to reach school. Pankaj says, impossible. Your home is farther from school. Sanya replied, but I checked my watch. I start for school at 7 o'clock. When I reach school, the minute's hand points at 2. So shouldn't it be 2 minutes past 7 or 7 to? Pankaj says, you are wrong. You reach school at 7:10. Sanya asks, how do you say that? Pankaj replied, can you see these thin lines between the numbers? Sanya said, yes. So what? Pankaj explained, the minute hand moves across 10 lines after 12. So it is 10 minutes past 7 or 7:10. I start for school at 7. I reach at 7:05. See, the minute hand moves across 5 lines. Practice time. 1. 3 friends read time from a clock. Who is right among all of them? Here, in the first clock, the small hand is at 3 and the big hand is at 12. Here, the time is 3 o'clock. So Pinky's answer is correct. In the second clock, the small hand is between 5 and 6. The big hand has crossed 35 lines after 12. So here, the time is 5:35. Again, Pinky's answer is correct. In the third clock, the small hand is at 7 and the big hand has crossed 15 lines after 12. So here, the time is 7:15. Again, Pinky's answer is correct. Do you know how many lines are present between two adjacent numbers in a clock? Observe the clock and tell your answer. 5. In a clock between two adjacent numbers, there are 5 lines. If suppose the big hand turns from 12 to 3, so how many digits have been covered by big hand? 3. What is the product of 3 and 5? 15. That was easy. So it's easy to find minutes covered, isn't it? You must know that the small hand is also called as the hour hand, whereas the big hand is also called as the minute hand. There is a third hand too. It is called the second hand. Show the following times in the clock. In the first clock, we have to show 3:10. So first, show the hour hand at 3 in this way. 10 minutes means 2 multiplied by 5 minutes. Show the minute hand on the clock, placing it on 2 after 12. In this manner. In the second clock, we have to show 6:40. So first, show the hour hand at 6 in this way. 40 minutes means 8 multiplied by 5 minutes. Show the minute hand on the clock, placing it on 8 after 12 in this manner. In the third clock, we have to show 4:45. So, show the hour hand at 4 in this way and the minute hand at 9 in this manner. Now, we have to show 2:20 in the 4th clock. So, show the hour hand at 2 in this way, and the minute hand at 4 in this manner. We have to show 3:15 in the 5th clock. So, show the hour hand at 3 in this way and the minute hand at 3 in this manner. In the 6th clock, in order to show 7:35, show the hour hand at 7 in this way and the minute hand at 7 in this manner. Do you like sky watching? In the sky, there is the sun, moon, and there are stars too. Do you know, in every country, the time of sunrise and sunset is different. In our country, the time of sunrise and sunset is different in different months. For example, during the month of March to June, during summers, the sun rises early and sets late. During the month of July to October, during monsoons, the sun rises late and sets early. During the month of November to February, during winters, the sun rises late and sets early. This photograph was taken in Paris, France. In Paris, the sun sets after 9 p.m. at night during summer. This photograph was taken at night. But in winter, it becomes dark here by 4 p.m. in the evening. Observe the figures and find out how long will it take the minute hand to move from A, 3:35 to 3:50. The minute hand has to move from 7 to 10. It means 10 minus 7 multiplied by 5. As you know that, when a minute hand moves between two adjacent numbers, it covers 5 minutes. So, here in this case, the minute hand will take 3 multiplied by 5, which equals to 15 minutes. B. 3:40 to 4. The minute hand has to move from 8 to 12. It means 12 minus 8 multiplied by 5 minutes, which is equal to 4 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 20 minutes. C. 6:05 to 6:15. The minute hand has to move from 1 to 3. It means 3 minus 5 multiplied by 5 minutes, which equals to 2 multiplied by 5, which equals to 10 minutes. D. 7:10 to 7:45. The minute hand has to move from 2 to 9. It means 9 minus 2 multiplied by 5 minutes equals to 7 multiplied by 5, which equals to 35 minutes. An example. Draw where the hands will be. A. 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. The solution. 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. It means the hour hand, that is the small hand, should be at 6 and the minute hand, that is the big hand, at 4. This is the correct representation. B. 30 minutes after 8 o'clock. It means that the hour hand, small hand, should be at 8 and the minute hand, big hand, at 6. This is the correct representation. C. 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. It means that the hour hand, small hand, should be at 7 and the minute hand, that is the big hand, at 2. This is the correct representation. D. 15 minutes after 5 o'clock. It means the hour hand, small hand, should be at 5 and the minute hand, big hand, at 3. This is the correct representation. Now, try to answer the questions below. Note the correct timing and answer accordingly. How long does your school assembly take? How long is your lunch break? How long is your games period? Is it the same as all the other periods? The games period and lunch break seem very short, aren't they? How many minutes can these activities take? Make a guess and then check at home. Boiling 1 liter milk takes approximately 20 minutes. Filling a bucket takes approximately 2 minutes. Sweeping your room takes approximately 5 minutes. Activity time. In 1 minute, how many times can you A. Snap your finger, B. Skip a rope, C. Jump up and down. Now, here is another challenge for you. How long can you A. Speak non-stop, B. Stand on one leg, C. Sing. Let us look at the clock again. Solve this one. A. The minute hand started from 2. How many minutes will it take to come back to 2 again? The minute hand starts from 2 and comes back to 2 again. Here it covers 12 digits. 12 multiplied by 5 equals to 60 minutes. B. What happens to the hour hand? Does it also move? How long will it take to move from one number to the next? Suppose the hour hand is at 7 and the minute hand is at 12. It means it is exactly 7. But when the minute hand is at 12 and after some time again comes at 12, the time is 8. So, the hour hand moves one digit ahead. That is, it moves from 7 to 8. It takes 60 minutes. Therefore, 1 hour equals to 60 minutes. Self-study. Look around you and list the activities that take about 1 hour to complete. Write write the approximate time. How long does it take to cook dinner at home? More than an hour or less than an hour? Ask your father if he can cook as fast as your mother does. No. Which games take less than an hour to finish? Covered. Rani's diary. Rani invites her school friends to meet her newborn baby sister. Rani said to them, "Come, let us go to see my new baby sister." "Mom, I have brought sweets for Mundi, but she can't eat. She is too small and she doesn't even talk. She will start doing all this slowly as she grows up." January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I will note down in my diary when she first starts talking, eating, walking. Here are some pages from Rani's diary. Mark these in the correct order on Munni's timeline. 5th March 2005. Munni is born today. 5th September 2005. Munni ate a banana. 15th September 2000. Rani had a pet puppy. After 2 weeks, it opened its eyes. She watched it grow like this. After 3 weeks, it got its first teeth and started eating. After 4 weeks, it started walking around but was still wobbling. It has a full set of teeth by the time it was 7 months old. After 1 year, it was a grown-up dog and got its own puppies.
Self-study.
Now, make a timeline of this dog's life in your notebook. Note the differences between Munni and Rani's puppy. The positions. Started walking. Now, here are the pictures of grandfathers posing for a photograph. Holidays are fun. Ali's holidays had begun. He was very excited. He had made some wonderful plans and wanted to tell his Shabana, who stays in Nagpur. Ali wrote his letter on the 7th of May 2018. How long did it take the letter to reach from Ajmer to Nagpur?
Self-study.
Which long holidays do you get in school? Fill the table. On 15th of May 2017, Chandran went to a shop to buy butter. He checked the packet to see if the butter was safe to eat. It was written on the packet, best before 180 days from the date of packing. Then he checked the date of packing. It was 15th of January 2017. Help him find out if he should buy the butter or not. Count the number of days from 15th of January 2017. Do you ever check the date of packing of things? Which are the other things that come with an expiry? Tapu missed the train. Suppose where have you seen a 24-hour clock being used?
Chapter 10. Play with patterns. Patterns around us. In everyday life, we see many patterns. For example, barbed wire, grills of a window, snake, sari, shawl, fence around walls, blankets, curtains, etc. Self-study. Look around yourself and list 3 things in which you find some pattern. Meet Pallavi. She is saying something. Hello, I am Pallavi. I live in Jaipur. My city is known for clothes with block prints. Have a look. Pictures in a pattern. Here some patterns of pictures are made. For every pattern, a rule is used. The rule for this pattern is there is one girl after every 2 boys. Then this is repeated. In this pattern, there is one arrow up and one down. Then this is repeated. Practice time. Given here are some patterns. Figure out the rule for each and continue the pattern. In the first pattern, one blue pawn and then the red pawn is given. This pattern is then repeated. Thus, after red pawn, we will have blue pawn, again a red pawn, and then a blue pawn. In the second pattern, 2 times A is given and 1 time B is given. This pattern is then repeated. Thus, after B, we will have 2 times A and 1 time B. In the third pattern, 1, 3 and 5 petal flower is given. This pattern is then repeated. Thus, in the given blank space, we will have 1, 3 and 5 petaled flower. In the fourth pattern, there are 4 parts in a square. And in that, one part is blue color. Each part gets blue color from left side to right side. Thus, in the same pattern, we will fill the color in each part of the square in the blank spaces. In the fifth pattern, one horizontal and one vertical block of design is given. This pattern is then repeated. Thus, we will complete this pattern in the same manner. In the sixth pattern, we have morning, afternoon, evening, night. Morning then will be followed by afternoon, evening and night. Growing patterns. See, here a different type of pattern is given. In the first and second, we have one arrow pointing downward and the other arrow pointing upward. After that, 2 arrows pointing downward and other 2 arrows pointing upward. Then, 3 arrows pointing downward and other 3 arrows pointing upward. In the pattern, the number of arrows are increasing. Thus, this pattern keeps on growing. It does not repeat. Thus, moving forward in the pattern, we will have 4 arrows pointing downward and 4 arrows pointing upward. Thereafter, 5 arrows pointing downward and 5 arrows pointing upward will follow. Example. Complete the following pattern given here. In the first pattern, we are given one square, then squares in the pattern of 2 by 2, then squares in the pattern of 3 by 3. Thereafter, the squares in the pattern of 4 by 4, and lastly, squares in the pattern of 5 by 5 will follow. In the second pattern, we have 1 triangle, 4 triangles and 9 triangles. Thus, in the given empty spaces, we will have 16 triangles